All right. Looks like just us. Short and sweet. All right, so you guys saw all of these, so I'm just going to give you a couple highlights because I know Tom's got a fairly long meeting today. There's only one in here that you haven't seen, and that's way towards the end, a part-time weekend custodian. All right? If you've got any questions, let me know. Daryl Dyson's the first person, resignation from Hillcrest. He got another job, just so you know. Then we have Kelly Henry. She's a guidance counselor at Oak Forest High School. She's going to be doing surgery in October. Going to be on FMLA leave through December.
Now she's also Honor Society, right?
Yes.
So who takes over those responsibilities?
Well, I don't know who's going to take over that responsibility.
Someone does.
Yeah, and
All
what
right.
we do is then we prorate based on how much time she missed. So she'll get a certain dollar amount for her time, and then the other person gets a certain dollar amount. Okay. Then we have Kelly Eastman, school psychologist, going to be split between Bremen and Oak Forest, graduate of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. In the last 5 years, she's been working in 218 and most recently with Richards High School. Okay. So that's our new psychologist, which is pretty cool because we didn't have to give her any more cash either. John Cullen, full-time Oak Forest, math teacher, Chicago State. He spent the last 7 years at Crete. He's also a coach of basketball and baseball. What they like about this guy is he has taught just about every level of math, from stats all the way down to our intermediate algebra. Graduate of Chicago State. Okay. We have Conrad Jacobson, going to be doing a 60% English. He's a graduate of Northeastern Illinois University. He's been with us for a year already as an English doctor. He also did some FMLA leaves in the English department. And what they like about him is during his student teaching, he also was like John, did a variety of different levels, freshman through junior year. Okay. There's only 179 pages of stuff that you had to read through. You guys were good with that?
Yeah.
Did it put you to sleep this weekend? 179 pages. All right, and then we have Sarah Therout. You'll hear her name later, but she's going to be teaching one class at Bremen. She's in science, a graduate of Quincy, both in bio and chem. And I don't know if you got too deep into her resume, but she's probably ready for teaching or any kind of supervisory role because she was a resident director. So if you're a resident director in college, you see a lot of stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Right, Larry? You're going to see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you could deal with that, you could deal with a lot of stuff. Colleen Konecki, Oak Forest, school nurse, graduate of Marquette. She's been working at Northwestern Hospital for the last 26 years. She did just get her certified school nurse certification, and she also has been subbing in our district as a substitute nurse. So she's going to be at Oak Forest. We are having a retiree at Tinley in our nurse, so I wouldn't be surprised if this lady, if she's good and they like her, will transfer to Tinley because she's got connections there. And then Oak Forest will be looking to hire again next fall. Okay, so that's her. Learning Center facilitator, Yolanda Pinkney. She's returning to be in the Learning Center. They like her a lot. She's got good communication skills, organizational skills. She has a master's degree in counseling. So she'll be coming back to Hillcrest in the Learning Center. Mr. McCosey's been at Bremen for 7 years. He's a retired administrator. He's had some pretty phenomenal success with our freshman learning center at Bremen. I don't know what the total percentage reduction in failures over the last 7 years is, but it's pretty significant.
Is it possible that?
Do you guys know Mike?
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
You ever met Mike McCosey?
But you know what?
Good.
I think you probably have. I think you did some kind of presentation, maybe the first or second year you were on.
He's a good dude.
Does one of these positions totally take up all their time? Could he do more than one school? Because these are like revolving door.
He might be able to. See, the problem with him, he's a retired administrator, so his hours and days of work are limited because he's collected TRS. That's part of his issue. So could he could probably be like the supervisor over all of the FLCs if that's what you're asking. Or are you asking like if he could work at one and then at the other school?
I'm just asking if we can somehow change the structure of this so that we don't. It seems like we're changing these every couple months. Not his, but the other schools. They're
not so much the facilitator, the tutors.
okay.
Not so much the facilitator, because the guy over at Oak Forest, I know he's been there at least 4 years. Lady over there at Hillcrest is going on 3. Tinley, I don't know.
All right.
But you're right, the tutors change out, but you know that's typically.
I may be
somebody
thinking of the Delta schools or something too.
Okay. The facilitator's not so much so.
All right, good.
All right, project manager. Where did I lost my place? Liesl Behrens is going to be project manager at Bremen. She's returning as project manager. She has a master's in counseling from Lewis. So fortunately, they work pretty closely with the counselors. And then Mrs. Ramsey, Nicole Ramsey, is going to be at Tinley Park High School, has a Master of Counseling. She has also interned at Bremen High School. She's also the assistant swim coach at Oak Forest. So it's nice to have these positions with actual Masters in Counseling degrees. Okay. Then we have Darcy Walker, who's going to be an English doctor at Oak Forest. She was an English doctor last year. She's done some maternity subbing in the district as well in the area of English. And she is a graduate of St. Xavier University. Okay. We have a math tutor, Bridget Trunk. This is a former math teacher of Oak Forest. She served as math tutor last school year as well. And she's got a BA in math from the University of St. Francis. So she can't be all bad. Okay, then we have Elizabeth Collins. She's going to be a math tutor again at Bremen. She's been at Bremen for the last 3 years as their math tutor. She's very familiar with all of their curricula. And then you probably heard Suze Benarski and Loretta Gesman, former math teachers from Bremen, who are also tutors. I think they're going on about year 7 as math tutors in the FLC. Okay. Michael Prepura is going to be a full-time sub-teacher at Oak Forest. He's also teaching one section. He's been a permanent sub before. He's also been a FLC coordinator at Tinley. He's also served as a paraprofessional Took this gig because he wanted to teach a section and also still be full-time in some capacity. Graduate of the University of Illinois at Chicago. Okay. Okay. Dionisia Martinez, going to be full-time sub at Tinley Park. Currently teaching Spanish at South Sub. She's a graduate of UIC also in history and ESL endorsed.
What is ESL endorsed?
English as a second language.
Oh, okay.
So she can teach that class, those kids.
Why does $100 per day seem low? I thought it was like $125 a day. Or what
We pay
am I confusing that?
$125 for the FLC
Didn't we just change one of them?
facilitators.
Changed one of them last year.
So a sub makes the same amount as a student assistant?
Yes. Something to reconsider down the road.
Well, it's a lot more training, isn't it?
Typically, we've asked the full-time subs to be certified teachers, you know, whereas the student assistants, we just want them to make sure that they have a high school diploma, but most of them do have
Yeah.
certified teaching degrees as well. It's certainly a different job description. You know, the assistant is more monitor, and the full-time sub actually is engaged in some teaching. We haven't really changed, but Larry, to answer your question, we really haven't changed the dollars for any of these for probably 4 or 5 years.
Or we did something.
Maybe one of them,
Something.
maybe one.
Yeah,
you know.
will come to me. I just can't remember.
I mean, supply and demand. We continue to get them. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that's the best way to look at it, but that's kind of how we have looked at it. Okay, you got me off track. Where am I at? Oh, Deonica, there she is right there. Okay. Karen Jackson's going to be a student assistant at Hillcrest. She was a student assistant at Hillcrest this past year. She is a poli-sci grad from Tennessee State in Nashville. And Michael Young is also at Hillcrest as a student assistant, alumni of Hillcrest High School.
When?
You know him?
Yeah, I do. Do you remember when he
Well,
was
let's
it
look.
in late 90s?
Get to his resume here, I should say.
Who I think it is. It's a very good pickup for Hillcrest.
Christine, I said there's only 179 pages that you guys had to read. So
I saw that, yeah.
I'm sure you. So Larry, he graduated from Central College in 14. That doesn't necessarily mean he
Right.
graduated high school.
Just say, yeah, he's going to live down there for a
It doesn't. It doesn't say when he graduated high school on his resume. I don't believe.
Definitely rings a bell, and it definitely a positive bell.
He's been doing all kinds of volunteer stuff.
Yeah. I believe it is him, and I coached him, and I think he's a real good kid.
Yeah. Well, he's one of their football coaches.
Yeah,
Graduated in exercise science. So.
good for Hillcrest.
Yeah. And yeah, still don't see any here.
Select to play Division III All-Star game.
Yeah, that's
She's
pretty
on
cool.
this, yes, in month
He must have been a pretty good football
He
player.
was.
All right. And the last student assistant is Christina Lim for Tinley Park. Miss Lim has experience working at Ombudsman, which is one of the schools we send it's one of our alternative schools we use. She has an education and social science degree from St. Xavier, right down the street. Okay. Yanitza Zamora is going to be a bilingual tutor at Oak Forest. She's currently working at a couple of our local colleges as an advisor and tutor. She's a graduate of U of I in English, and Governor State has a master's degree in counseling. She's going to be a bilingual tutor in our ESL program.
Awesome.
Just try to tie it all together. For you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, and then Roberto Sarli is going to be at Bremen as a bilingual tutor, currently working as an advisor and tutor in CPS, I believe. He is an ESL instructor at night, and he is a graduate of Chicago State.
The Cougars.
The Cougars.
Did you ever take classes over there?
I never have. I know a bunch of folks that did.
Yeah, I took a few.
Played baseball against them in college. It was cold always there.
Yeah.
Too close to the dang lake. That's what I recall. All right, so you guys remember Miss Theriault? She's going to be doing science tutor in the FLC, as well as teaching that one class. Again, that's the lady who is the resident director. Okay. Then we have Lindsay Michaels, who's going to be a Delta Night counselor. She's currently a counselor at a Catholic school. She's got a psychology degree from Lewis and a counseling degree from Governor State. And Yolanda Pinckney is going to be at Hillcrest in the same capacity, Delta Night counselor. She's employed at Hillcrest as their facilitator. She has a BA in history from Roosevelt and has a master's of counseling from Concordia. All right, then we go to the ed support personnel. Let's see if I can get to that here. Okay, got a bunch of special ed aides that we're hiring. Kristen Smith at Bremen. Kristen has a bachelor's in health from Missouri Baptist. PE in health from Missouri Baptist. Anybody know where Missouri Baptist is?
Missouri.
Missouri.
Southern part of Missouri. That's my guess. I don't know.
Bible Belt, big time.
That's a guess. I don't know that for sure. Okay. So that's Christine Smith. Then we have John Taylor as a part-time weekender custodian at Hillcrest. It says there Oak Forest, but it's actually Hillcrest. He's currently working as a custodian in 143, and he has also worked for Matson, the village of Matson, as a custodian. He's a graduate of Corliss High School. Okay, Roberto Garza is a part-time weekend custodian at Oak Forest. Currently working in District 96 as a custodian. He's a graduate of Hubbard High School.
I stepped down from being with the Bears and now, who is that, weekend custodian, part-time? That's the same Garza? You remember him?
Garcia.
Oh, okay.
But I do remember Roberto.
Yeah.
You might need him back, Larry.
Yeah, I know.
Then we have Michael Andrade. He's our new certified HVAC maintenance guy. He's been an HVAC service tech for a couple of different companies. And he's actually a graduate of the Environmental Technical Institute. Not exactly sure what that is, but it sounds kind of cool. Any idea? No idea.
And he's going to be doing all the buildings, right?
Yeah, all those certified guys roam.
Okay.
So we have 2 now certified HVAC in the district. This guy is Steve Stump. So I assume that at some point you'll hear a presentation from Tom or Larry on how much money we're saving by not having to outsource all that stuff. It's right there. Okay, then we have Shalinda Greer's also going to be a special ed aide at Tinley Park. Graduate of Chicago State in criminal justice. She also has a master's from Lewis in criminal justice. And I did not know this, but I found out that she's also been the head volleyball coach at Morgan Park for a while. So, there you go. Deshaun Dockery, special ed aide at Hillcrest. He's a Hillcrest alum. He's working on his master's degree in SPED. He's got a bachelor's degree in general studies from Campbellsville University. Do you know him, Larry? Deshaun Dockery? No. Then this is the one you haven't seen. Roland Ternelius is a weekend part-time custodian at Tinley. He's been a mechanic for 18 years in a variety of different capacities. He's also a graduate of Shepherd High School. And then the last couple there are pretty simple. We got a resignation from a weekend custodian and a resignation from a special ed aide who got a job at Chicago CPS. So pretty simple stuff.